This is Mikko Maestro, and you're listening Wrestling with Entertainment.
Alright, and the week after that, we got Kid Bandit, and the week after that, we have Big Juicy. So you should check out Wrestling with E on Twitter for more information on all those interviews and more news to come. Now that we're done putting ourselves over, it's a great day for wrestling. Depending on who you ask, because earlier this week it was reported that Cesaro is no longer with WWE. Your thoughts, Scooter?
I'm both surprised and not surprised at the same time. I thought that maybe Cesaro would stick around. Um, but after the failed attempt to get him in the main event, which was not his fault, by the way, I have to make that clear. I'm not surprised that he would not accept new terms on his contract from the WWE. However, he has left on good terms.
Very true.
But if the number of times that Drake Maverick has been fired and rehired is anything,
he's getting up there with JR now.
Yeah, I'd say just about.
And speaking to what you just spoke about, a failed attempt at getting him into the main event, I don't think it was a failure on anybody's part, even WWE. Well, it was a failure on WWE's part because they didn't continue with him afterwards. They didn't give him, an intercontinental run, put him in a prominent position that people could still root for him, and still have Roman on top. So if it was anybody's, they just didn't capitalize on what they had with him at the time. Right, Kalika? Oh, did we lose Kalika?
No, I'm just trying to think this.
Right. I think I lost. Yes. Kalika, your thoughts on Cesaro and what we was talking about?
Well, like it's both points that you made or that both of you guys made are valid. It's kind of like Cesaro became the guy that kind of got lost in the sauce per se. This one is gonna be on the fire. And I felt like if there was any chance for him to get a title shot, it would have had to been him winning Money in the Bank or him winning the Royal Rumble. And I thought if he didn't get one of those two, it was more than likely not going to happen. Granted, he got the Roman thing. He got the WrestleMania win. I think that they saw him as a good hand, and when they see you as a good hand, they don't see you as an entertainer. And when they don't see you as an entertainer, they're not going to put you up in the, you know what I mean?
Right. He was done with hand.
Because you could make an argument that Cesaro is, there's no argument to be made. Cesaro is way, 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 way better wrestler than Big E. I think that's consensus, right?
Yeah.
But Big E was the better entertainer.
That's true.
Get back to, that promo he cut in 2014, I believe, after the Vince McMahon Stone Cold podcast, where he said, nobody's better in between these three corners, and he completely screwed up the promo. I feel like that was kind of what was that one promo is what kept him from being anything bigger than he was because he just screwed up that one promo. Kind of like what McMahon held it
No,
against Brody Lee that he couldn't do a southern accent.
No,
no.
to me the issue was he was a great wrestler, not a great. They couldn't get him to get caught in the entertainment part. See, like Daniel Bryan, as much as we give Daniel Bryan credit for the wrestling, he had to be somewhat entertaining. And you know what I mean? He had to somewhat come up with something to catch the eye of masses, right?
Right.
Cesaro catches the eyes of masses in the ring. But the problem is before you get to the ring, the selling of the match, and
Well,
everybody's going to be like, "Oh my God, Cesaro's," you know.
well, from everything I read, some guaranteed up, down, down money was something Cesaro wanted in his new contract.
Pay the
And
man, shit.
so, in terms of having him be a big part of up, down, down with Xavier. It shows that he can do the entertainment side. In fact, Southpaw showed he could do the entertainment side.
I
Uh,
think the entertainment side is when it comes to what WWE feeds, because I think I was scared if he tried to do it his own way, they would punish him a la Zack Ryder,
Right. The
right?
Cesaro section.
well. I mean, when you compare Zack Ryder and Cesaro, one of them has won a title, has won a singles title at WrestleMania, and it's not Cesaro.
But I think that was WWE's way of going, holy shit, you were right with the YouTube shit the whole time.
Yeah, except Ryder
He lost it the next night, but
next night.
he got the moment he was looking for
Zack
though.
Ryder winning the championship at Mania was the most random shit of all time of WrestleMania. It
But
really
it
had
was the
nothing
most.
to do with anything else that was happening at that moment.
It was the greatest fucking moment that night. And that's somebody big there. That
Yeah.
was the highlight.
Uh, I want to bring up two interesting points about Cesaro leaving. One, this now makes it the fifth out of the seven Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winners that are no longer into the employ of the company.
Where's
And
Jay Uso that's still there?
Uso and Corbin.
That's
Watch
right.
out for Uso.
And
Protect
Corbin.
Uso at all costs.
But Cesaro was one of the few people that did not have a no compete clause.
Really? So,
Yeah,
So
because his went to term, right? His just ended.
that's
yep.
right. He decided
So
not to renew.
so now the question is, where does he go from here?
AEW.
Japan.
No. Jesus
Japan.
Christ, no. No, fuck
Japan.
no. If I hear somebody say another WWE dude go to AEW, I'm just gonna break their goddamn knee.
My buddy.
Well, that brings us to our second piece of news. Shane Swerve Strickland is AEW bound. Your thoughts, Kaliko?
Okay, all right. You know what? It's not my problem that they go to AEW or that they have the roster or that they can fill all these people. The problem to me is going to be with AEW is massaging all of those egos who go in there thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. But when in actuality, the grass is only greener where you water it. And I'm thinking, how is AEW going to water all of these talents? And this is people coming in, so it's got to come at the expense of somebody who was already there. And that's going to be the biggest issue because It's not like they go on tour.
Right.
They're fucking. It's Mondays and it's just Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So and maybe pay-per-views. So how are they gonna give all these people the TV and creative time that they desire for the new people, also while coaxing the egos of those who were there and say, "Hey, I've been there since day one. I deserve it."
Right. What say you to that, Scooter?
First, in order to water all those egos, Tony Khan is going to pee on everybody and tell them it's raining.
I feel like R. Kelly method.
The rain's looking a bit yellow today.
It tastes sour.
Oh God, no.
I mean, you had Buddy Matthews this week. God,
Correct?
I'm sorry. I can't take anybody seriously whose first name is Buddy.
Wait, the girl, Bucky?
My buddy, my buddy. Wherever I go, he goes. I always thought they should dress him up as a Chucky doll and just call him my buddy.
Or put him in a, a, a basketball jersey and call him Air Buddy.
Or just put him in a ass costume and just call him Butt Tea.
Very true.
Sipping the butt tea. Shane Strickland, he'll just get lost in the fold. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, yeah, I kind of feel the same way. And he has a great talent. It's just, it kind of seems like Tony Khan is like that kid in a toy store, and he says they have all the wrestler figures, and they said, "Ooh, give me Hulk Hogan. Ooh, give me Stone Cold. Give me The Rock. Give me Triple H," and you put them every main star in the world on one roster of figures.
I I I think it's more Tony Khan is the spoiled rich kid with no friends who goes into a toy store, looks at the shelves, and goes, "Yes."
That might actually be the case. I don't think there's a documentary on the life of Tony Khan yet.
I mean, and who knows? Next week's announcement could be that. I mean, oh God, we'll get into that. But
I don't
But
think
my
we are.
question is, now my question is this why Cody left? Did he
I
see
think
this
so,
writing
yeah.
on the wall?
Cody wanted 7 figures.
Shit, Punk got 7 figures. I would want 7 figures too if I put my money in that shit. Fuck yeah.
Cody wanted something like it's like 3 million for 3 years or something like that.
I think you're getting
That's that.
AJ Styles' new contract confused with Cody's.
I
I
th-
mean,
I
but
thought
that's reasonable for a founder.
I,
Shit.
th- I thought AJ's was a bit higher in 5 years.
It was AJ's contract was 3 million a year for 3 to 5 years, I believe.
Yeah, so that's 15 million at the most.
And I mean, the guy deserves it. I mean, he's AJ freaking Styles.
Well, it's funny that we bring up AJ and Cody because it looks like unless the WWE is uh, swerving us, as I mentioned a couple of shows back, that it was Edge and AJ on tap for WrestleMania, uh, and but the other possibility is Cody and Edge.
I feel Cody.
Stardust and Edge.
I feel either AJ and Cody, Cody and Edge, Edge and AJ. Any one of those scenarios should make for great shit.
Honestly, I think Cody really needs his first program. Really does need to be with the Miz.
Well, he's with Logan Paul at the moment.
Fuck Logan Paul. Get him in.
Pretty much.
With KSI when you need him again.
KSI.
The guy that knocked him out. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't watch that big shit. No.
Boxing? Really?
Yeah. Is there a Russian in that? No, I'm joking. No. So Shane Strickland is now Shane Swerve Strickland. So
Triple S.
Okay, Swerve.
So he's. We should call him now, which ideally is going to be his AEW one. Like it was mentioned earlier, putting Matthews AEW. Why the hell put him with Malachi Black and Brody King? He literally has no tattoos.
It's because they're friends.
Are they?
Oh, it's not like the beaver thing? Okay, never mind.
Yeah. It's because Black and Matthews are good friends. They were good friends before WWE, and they spent a bunch of time in NXT together.
Just talking about somebody that fell to the wayside with AEW, Malachi. And I still believe this. He could be the AEW champion in the next 6 months and nobody would bat an eye at it. And they have him in a tag team.
That's my point. Like, everybody coming in as singles, and it's like, oh yeah, he's going to be better than he was in NXT. And I'm like, there's only room in any company. There's only so much room for people at the top, right?
Right. And right now that's Hangman Page and Adam Cole.
Why are there so many Adams? Interesting
There's
note.
only one, Eva Marie.
Interesting note. Every time there's been a new member of the House of Lock, Malachi Black's painted eye has been red instead of white.
Significance of that?
And some red shit is about to go down.
Alright then.
I also have to point out the fact that when the lights went off the first time and Matthews came appeared, it's just acted surprised. And then when they went out again to cue the House of Black, exit, Shivani, Ross, and Excalibur were like, "Oh, what's happening now?" And they completely forgot that, oh yeah, that's how they leave the ring.
I mean, there's literally so many blackout moments in AEW. It makes you question if they even pay the light bill there.
Well, between the blackouts, the black and white face paint, the Proudhausen and Powerful,
Jeff Hardy possibly being there.
Jeffhausen, Stinghausen, Uh,
Ray Iconic, Ray Evil.
Tequila. Um, well, that's all I got to say about that.
All right then. We mentioned earlier AJ Styles re-signed with WWE as well, so he's not going anywhere. Um, and Ciampa is Tommaso Ciampa, I should say, is now on Raw, or at least trying to have a decent Raw run. And they put him against Dolph Ziggler, and you say, yeah, well, it's Dolph Ziggler, but a lot of great wrestlers came in, got over on Ziggler, and that was kind of their gateway into WWE. Does that have does that give Tommaso Ciampa any chance of being something in WWE? Scooter?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, this is what NXT should have been, kind of from the real start. There should have been, one or two main guys, you know, being on the show, as the flavor of the month. And that way you have a logical reason to bring the NXT talent that you want to bring up logically instead of just randomly, having them show up. Uh, the fact that they're putting Ciampa in with Ziggler, who I think now at this point is the now along with Kofi the longest tenured superstar.
Um, just about. I mean, he debuted in '05, '06. Possibly the Miz might have a little bit on that, both of them.
Yeah, Miz was part of the original ECW to start. But Ziggler was, you know, Chavo's caddy in September 2005. So even before that, I was sure that's 5. So yeah, Ziggler going on 17 some odd years.
Incredibly, he lasted that long.
I think it speaks volumes that they're putting Ciampa in with Ziggler, and the fact that Ziggler is now the number one contender for the NXT Championship is, the way it should have been, because Ciampa doesn't need another reign as NXT champion.
He
He
does not.
needs to really move up, and at this point, it almost feels like the WWE wants to make NXT a place where the talent doesn't, where they're getting the mind of the talent that they don't want to be in NXT for an extended period of time.
What are your thoughts, Kaliko?
I think Scooter's right. Like, because the problem with NXT, as much as we loved it, the problem was the people that were there were not wanting to go graduate up, and eventually you were supposed to graduate up. Like when Gargano won the belt, he should have graduated up. When you think about all the people that graduate, like since I want to say since Nakamura. Let's see, Nakamura got called up. Bobby Roode got called up. Um, Alistair Andrade called up.
Ricochet, but he wasn't champion.
I'm talking about NXT champion.
No, he wasn't.
No.
He was North American.
Right, but what I'm saying, like the main, like when you win the main belt, the assumption was that you were ready,
Keith
right?
Lee and Arian Cross.
Yeah, it was very rare that you were a two-time champion,
Right.
right? And it got to the point where people were, it was multiple two-time champions. Adam Cole, think about that. The whole time he was in WWE, he literally spent it in NXT
Yes.
when he should have graduated up. Johnny Gargano did everything in NXT, damn near, I failed twice, but yet he never really got up there, right?
Right.
So that's the point. Like, as much as we hate that NXT was redone, it needed to be redone because it got to the point where eventually it was just going to be recycled people who are there, and they're just going to sit there for what?
There was only so much that Ciampa could do in NXT at this point, considering it's 2.0 now.
That's why they did that last of the Mohican shit. Because
Right.
once he won the NXT championship, the fact that Gargano won the NXT championship, lost it, then went and won the North American championship could give you a whole reason of why the fuck NXT should have been redone.
Now, and Ciampa got what seemed to be a send off from NXT. Um, so should we just expect him to be on Raw now because he has had a match or two on there so far?
It depends, because it depends if they give him, if he's that or SmackDown, or unless he gets the edge that he needs to get back, then, I don't know.
I mean, and considering the the rumor that the brand split is going to be basically, a figurehead type situation after WrestleMania, that there is basically going to be implied rosters, but the fact that talent will be able to go back and forth now. Uh, Again after that. So whether or not Ciampa gets on stage, you know, before Mania, maybe even Ciampa's the one who wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. They do it.
Interesting. That I wouldn't say no to that.
I mean, because as of right now, he's not on the card for Stand and Deliver, which is happening the Saturday, which is happening hours before night one of WrestleMania now.
And that it's rumored that NXT Stand and Deliver Night 2 will be in the afternoon of the WrestleMania Night 1.
I'm gonna be there, so I want to see how they pull this shit off.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't say it would be a 2-night event though. That Stand and Deliver would be a 2-night.
Oh, that's right, because it was Stand and Deliver last year.
Uh, so Stand and Deliver as of right now is one show happening in the afternoon on the WrestleMania set.
Did they say that, or is it? I
No,
thought that
yeah,
was going to be in a separate arena.
no, it's happening It's happening a few hours before night one on that Saturday.
Does it kind of just seem like WWE wants NXT to fail at this point?
It feels like it's WWE is a kid that forgot their homework and is struggling to do it 10 minutes before it has to be handed in.
What say you, Kaliko? Because you're going to be there. Did we lose Kaliko or did I lose Hughes?
No, I don't think so.
Then you must have lost
Uh,
Kaliko.
I will. I will say this. A week from tomorrow, uh, I am going to be in Madison Square Garden.
Congratulations.
We will see if they do pull. If we're really getting a unification, if we're getting a full unification here, or if they hotshot the title back to Lashley.
Well, that's the thing. We're not even sure that as of right now, Lashley is not going to be on that card. Uh, and we'll go into this when we do our review of Elimination Chamber. He has a shoulder injury. He went to Alabama, which is code for he's really fucked up.
Yes,
Uh,
he went to see James Andrews.
yes, and we're not sure if he's even going to be back for Mania, let alone this Madison Square Garden. So
Yeah, the rumor as of right now is a it's either going to be a 6-man tag or a uh, or Lesnar against the Usos in a handicap match.
from what I hear, it's still going to be a title match. It's just not going to be Lashley. So who could essentially take that Lashley role?
Seth, Big E, Edge.
No, more than likely it'll probably be Austin Theory, and it'll be a 30-second squash.
I mean, any other day of the week, yeah, but they're in Madison Square Garden, and usually they want to do something special for the Garden.
Well, then they should do Brock AJ and set up AJ and Edge.
Pretty much.
That sounds
That
like
would be the
okay.
move. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but they got to do something to get the people to come out, though. But I feel like Brock AJ was done at Survivor Series, and
Well,
But
well,
that was a while since they've done that.
but considering that now, since Nakamura is now cleared of the Intercontinental title, and since it looks like it's going to be Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville for the title, uh, Brock and Nakamura.
That would be a
whoo,
banger.
there's some history there.
Yes, there is.
Some real shit.
You're not
Like,
wrong about that. He essentially took the IWGP title off of him in his first night in New Japan.
so I mean that. Well, I wouldn't want to waste Brock and Nakamura on a Madison Square Garden, house show essentially. But it would be special. But then again, we'd also know that Nakamura wouldn't be winning after WrestleMania. Nakamura Brock, it's a different story, but
Do we even get Brock Lesnar after WrestleMania?
probably not.
Yeah. Well, and this the Madison Square Garden show isn't televised.
No, but they will be. They will be taping everything and stuff. With I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to air some of it on Peacock. Um, they'll air like an hour of it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they aired all of it. Because one of the things that they were having a survey with the WWE Network was that would you like to see more special event house shows? So I don't know if that's something they already were thinking about. So it wouldn't surprise me, especially somebody's of Brock's caliber. Why wouldn't they? Because that would give them the edge to get more money from Peacock, from NBC Universal, that is. Hey, we got people coming in for our special shows. We got more people watching our shit than the Olympics.
Well, I will be at Madison Square Garden, so
You will have first. The news will be broken to you first.
Bird's eye view.
it'll just be broken.
Well, I do think that this needs to be covered. Um, Former Braun Strowman and EC3 made their own wrestling company. Uh, CYN, Control Your Narrative. It's a new company. It's coming out March 5th, I believe. Um, I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts on this new company by EC3 and Braun Strowman Scooter?
It's it's not gonna do anything.
What say you, Kaliko?
They took that control your narrative shit to the max, didn't they? Like,
Yeah, well, they infringed on my hashtag here, so
Wasn't it Control Your Commentary?
choose your commentary.
Choose Your Commentary.
And at first it was choose your narrative, and they changed it to control your narrative.
There's a lot of
so,
narrating.
so does that mean I have to give Braun Strowman these hands?
No, but you can give him the elbows, knees, and toes, knees and toes.
Alright. Well, it's already confirmed that Austin Aries and Killer Cross are going to be a part of the company. So,
Potassium.
I mean, Austin Aries, if Austin Aries joins a new company in the woods, does anybody see it? But Killer Cross could draw some eyes to it, no?
The question is, does Austin Aries even stay long enough for it to play out?
He'll be there for a banana or two.
One banana, two banana.
3 banana fired.
Well, he walked all morning to the until whatever.
Deo.
Yeah. Alright. Unless Scooter has something else in the pipeline for news related things.
Well, I feel this kind of has to be addressed. MJF. What's now being referred to as the Jew Boy promo. As a Jew, as a
Boy.
person with ADHD, as somebody who was bullied, um, you know, it, you know, anti-Semitism is never really racism and prejudice is never a good way to get over. It will never get you over. Uh, but MJF, I think, is one of the only talents today that can go out and say, "Oh, I'm an asshole because I was bullied and my religion was made fun of. So pity me." And and CM Punk coming out and wanting to hug MJF. And let's face it, if you thought that was real, well, then MJF proves why he's one of the best on the mic today. Clearly, he's setting up, but MJF is the only one that can really use that. Say, "Oh, I was made fun of for being Jewish," so and not trigger the snowflakes. And, oh, by the way, I was the other Jew boy that he mentioned that tried out for the football team. Even though I'm a number of years older than MJF,
Were you held back a couple years, Scooter?
more like held down.
Bastards.
They would whip me with towels and shove pine cones up my ass. But no.
What kind of school is this?
It's the school of hard knocks.
Oh, Mike Knox was there? You never told me that you went to school with Mike Knox.
Well, I mean, check the beard.
Ah, there you go.
Either way, I just feel that it has to be mentioned. Plus, I now think that MJF, if he's not trolling us, he now needs to wrestle with his Star of David around his neck, and he must, in his next promo, read a part of his Torah portion from his bar mitzvah. He's got to prove he can speak Hebrew if he wants to stay good in our eyes. Sincerely, the Jews.
Kaliko, you have any comments on this?
I'm black. Yeah, no. I'm not touching religion, bro.
I'm not touching the legend, bro.
As my son just said, I'm not touching that. I mean, I'll touch black folk religion all day because we got like 88 million damn denominations, so we don't know who the fuck we is. But I mean, like I say with MJF, man, he can talk, but the problem with me is that bell fucking rings. Then the bell rings.
My sugar.
Bitch.
That's my problem.
Instead of doing the Denzel, it's my sugar. It's a Yiddish word. It'd be like my sugar, my man.
My man. But then the bell rings, and it's like, and my question is, he can give that promo, but would it matter if he doesn't go over in the feud?
Well, how
I
about he's
mean,
not going over a Punk in the feud?
That's my point. He's had mad promos where he did not go over in the feud. Other than Cody.
And they only had one match.
Thank you. So that's my point. That was my point. If they did all this to one match and MJF won, I think it would have been more significant than them trying to run a feud because MJF already got the win he was looking for. Everything else here is just icing on the cake. And they go, oh, he could take a loss, but then there's going to want to be a tiebreaker. And who's winning that tiebreaker?
Right. All right. Well, we could definitely talk all about that when we do a preview and a review of Revolution. I think that's next week. But I think we should wrap up the news now. And now a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey guys, this is Brutal Bob Evans from Hangs with Bob Seminars and TheWrestleLife.com, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.